This Veterans Day, leaders in the Virgin Islands and the community come together and gather to honor all of those who have served in the U.S. Armed Forces. Virgin Islands Army National Guard's 73rd Army Band rendered the national anthem, followed by the Virgin Islands March. It was a beautiful ceremony Friday morning at the promenade on St. Thomas, where the annual ceremony took place after the Veterans Day parade in Charlotte-Amalie. The Army Band performed along with many speakers, talking about the importance of the day and honoring all who have worn our nation's uniform. The annual Veterans Day parade and ceremony also took place in Frederiksted on Friday afternoon. It's all a way the territory recognizes military veterans' bravery, commitment, and sacrifices they all made to protect the values and freedoms of Americans. A wonderful day indeed. And we have a couple of updates to tell you about regarding the distribution of Social Security stipend checks. As we reported, the Office of Management and Budget is currently distributing the checks to eligible residents, $500 checks being made available to seniors or those who are on disability through American Rescue Plan Act funds in order to help people out from the economic hardships which stemmed from the COVID-19 pandemic. To get your check, here's what you need to know.
While the OMB will extend distribution the week of November 14th, it's encouraging recipients to use the check by mail option to receive those Social Security stipends. To do so, send an email to arpa@omb.vi.gov with SSA stipend in the subject line and provide the following information you see on your screen: your name, the last 4 digits of your Social Security number, phone number, and correct address. On St. Croix, the OMB will resume issuing checks November 14th through the 18th from 9 o'clock in the morning until 4 p.m. with an alphabetical drive-through process at the Agriculture Fairgrounds. On your screen is which day you should head to the fairgrounds to get your check based on your last name. And distribution will continue as scheduled on St. Thomas, November 14th through the 18th from 9 o'clock in the morning until 5 p.m. at the Schneider Regional Medical Center front parking lot. On St. John, the checks continue to be available at the St. John Administrator's Office, but again, the OMB is now urging retirees to use the mail option. The $500 payment will be issued to about 22,000 Social Security recipients who are seniors or disabled adults.
On St. Thomas, a nearly $1 million project at the Port Christian parking lot is now well underway. The Department of Public Works says the Port Christian parking lot conduit installation project is costing just over $97,000. It aims to upgrade the communication and data lines to the parking lot's cashier booths, barrier gates, and ticketing machines. Contractors will be installing a base along with electrical conduits, junction boxes, concrete posts, and expand concrete slabs for future cashier booths. The existing wooden booths at the eastern entry of the parking lot will also eventually be demolished. This week, a woman is extradited from the state of Kentucky to the Virgin Islands for allegedly bilking a St. Croix woman out of thousands of dollars. 30-year-old Theodosia Woodley is facing charges including forgery and grand larceny. The charges stem from an investigation which started back in April of last year. The VIPD's Economic Crime Unit started the investigation, and detectives in that unit say back in February of 2021, Woodley and another suspect who is also wanted in the case took a victim's checkbook, forged her signature, and wrote 11 checks totaling more than $8,500 without the victim's permission. A warrant was issued for their arrest, and police nabbed Woodley in Henderson, Kentucky. On Wednesday, VIPD police brought her back to St. Croix to face the charges against her. And there is good and bad news on the inflation front. A new report shows overall consumer prices are rising at the slowest rate since January. But food prices remain high, which means this year's Thanksgiving feast is going to be an expensive one. Bradley Blackburn reports.
Fossil Farms in New Jersey is busy packing up and shipping out fresh turkeys.
How many turkeys are you going to sell this year, you think?
Over 10,000.
10,000?
Over 10,000.
Ben Del Coro is the VP of Marketing and says a number of factors are making prices higher this year.
With poultry, it was really compounding. So we had fuel prices that were on the rise early in the year. We had grain prices that went through the roof, and then we had avian flu.
An avian flu outbreak has killed millions of turkeys nationwide, leading to lower supplies. The latest numbers from the Bureau of Labor Statistics show turkey costs almost 17% more than a year ago. And grocery staples are on the rise. Eggs are up a whopping 43%, butter nearly 27%, and potatoes are 15% higher.
Unfortunately, I think the cost of food will remain high for both Thanksgiving and Christmas Hanukkah season.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says the latest figures also show housing costs still climbing at a rapid pace. But within the report, there are signs of improvement. Overall, prices are slowing, a sign the Federal Reserve's interest rate increases are working to cool off the economy.
At the December meeting, the Federal Reserve will raise interest rates probably by 0.5 percentage point, not by 0.75%. And the reason is that they are going to be happy with the results of this particular report.
Schlesinger says prices could continue to trend lower, but it will be some time before inflation drops from the current rate of 7.7% to the Fed's target rate of just 2%.
Throughout the VI, COVID-19 case counts remain steady. According to the VI Department of Health, there are currently 70 active COVID cases territory-wide, with 54 active cases on St. Croix, 16 on St. Thomas, and currently still no active cases reported on St. John. In other health news today, Americans who deal with severe anxiety may be able to treat their condition without medications. According to a recently published study, mindfulness-based cognitive therapy and mindfulness-based stress reduction appear to be beneficial for issues like depression. The findings are based on a review of data collected last year from nearly 300 people in a clinical trial. There were some limitations to the research, though. Recruitment was only held in 3 medical centers, and most of the participants were female. Researchers say they don't know why mindfulness appears to help lower anxiety.